Zari sat in the corner of the learning pod, her small blue fingers gripping the edge of her seat. Her wide silver eyes stared at the old holoscreen as a teacher droned on about humans. "And while humans are known for their strength and technology, they are also considered dangerous to weaker species," the old instructor said, clicking through images of tall, muscular human males. Zari whispered to her friend beside her, "Is it true that they eat their own females?" Her friend gasped. "Who told you that?" "I heard my older sister say it," Zari said, lowering her voice. "She said she saw a secret video one the council tried to block. A human male grabbed a female and bit her. And she didn't scream, she just moaned." Her friend's eyes went wide. "Maybe they trained their females to enjoy the pain before eating them." Zari nodded slowly. "It's strange. Why else would they use their mouths like that?" The other students didn't seem interested. Most thought humans were just another strong race in the galaxy. But to Zari, there was something terrifying about them, especially their males. Big, hairy, with deep voices and sharp teeth. She had seen them in recordings, the way they stared at their females, the way they held them close. It looked like love, but what if it was just the first step before the meal? Weeks later, Zari got her chance to study humans up close, but not in the way she expected. Her class was traveling on a science ship to observe Earth from orbit. But a meteor storm hit their vessel. The ship shook, lights blinked out. Everything went black. When Zari opened her eyes again, she was on a strange planet Earth. Her pod had broken off during the crash and landed deep in a forest. Trees taller than buildings surrounded her. Cold wind brushed her skin. Her leg hurt. She couldn't move it. Then she heard footsteps. Heavy, slow, and getting closer. She dragged herself behind a fallen log, shaking, her heart pounding. The bushes parted, and a human male stepped into view. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with dark, messy hair and strange-colored eyes. He looked around and then spotted her. Zari froze. Their eyes met. She tried to scream, but only a weak whimper escaped her lips. "Hey, it's okay," the human said in a deep, calm voice. "You're hurt. Don't be scared." Scared? She was. Beyond scared. Her entire body trembled. This was it. She was going to be eaten. The stories were true. He knelt beside her. His hand reached out. Zari flinched, but he didn't grab her. Instead, he touched her gently, lifting her up like she was made of glass. He wrapped her in a soft cloth and carried her in his arms. She didn't fight. She was too weak. Her leg burned with pain. Her mind spun. Maybe he's taking me back to his den, where he eats his prey, slowly. She passed out before they reached his shelter. Zari woke on a soft surface. A strange smell filled the air, warm, rich, like cooked meat. Her eyes flew open. She was lying on some kind of couch inside a wooden cabin. Soft lights glowed from above. Strange objects filled the room, tools, books, and something that looked like a cooking machine. Her leg was bandaged. It didn't hurt as much now. Then she heard him, the human. He stood at the other side of the room, facing the kitchen. He was cooking. Zari's heart raced. He's preparing food. That means she swallowed hard. He's getting hungry. He turned around and smiled. "You're awake. That's good. I made something warm. You need to eat. Eat or be eaten." Her hands gripped the edge of the couch. He placed a bowl in front of her with steam rising from it. "It's just stew. You'll feel better." She sniffed it. It smelled nice. Still, she didn't trust him. He might be fattening her up, feeding her now so she'd taste better later. She picked up the spoon with shaky hands and took a small bite. It was delicious. Her stomach grumbled. She hadn't eaten since the crash. She ate slowly, keeping one eye on him. He didn't try anything. He just sat at the table, sipping his drink and watching the fire burn in the heater. Zari began to calm down just a little. maybe the stories were wrong. Maybe he wasn't like the others, but then, why did he keep staring at her like that? His eyes weren't cold. They were warm, curious, soft, but something about the way he looked at her made her cheeks warm. Is this how they choose their females? Before they bite them? Zari didn't know what to believe anymore. All she knew was this. She was alone in a human's home, with no way to escape. And the night had just begun. Zari didn't open her eyes right away. She kept them shut, listening first. The wind had stopped. The cold was gone. No shaking ground. No alarms. Instead there was warmth. And silence. A soft crackling sound. A low hum. And something even more frightening. Breathing. Close. Deep. Slow. Human. Her eyes shot open. She was still in the same strange shelter. A fire burned in a small box across the room. A glowing orange light filled the wooden walls. And just a few feet away, sitting in a chair, was him, the human male. He wasn't looking at her. Not yet. He was sharpening something. A long blade. Quiet. Careful. Zari's heart thumped wildly. A weapon. He's preparing to cut something. Me? She didn't scream. She didn't move. She waited, watched, and planned. Her legs still hurt, but her mind raced. She scanned the room. Door behind him, no windows near her. One table. One chair. Tools hanging on the wall. A closet. A vent. And then under the couch a short metal rod. Sharp on one end. She slipped her hand down and grabbed it. Just in case. The human stood up and walked to the kitchen area. He placed the blade down and opened something that hissed. A small cold box. He pulled out a container, sniffed it, and smiled. Smiled. Zari narrowed her eyes. Was he happy? He turned and saw her awake. Oh, you're up, that's good. You were out for a while. His voice was calm, but Zari didn't relax. She didn't trust him. I thought I'd make some food. You hungry? He asked, already reaching for a pot. Hungry? Zari almost laughed inside. He must be. Why else would he fatten me first? That's how predators do it. She stayed quiet. He didn't push. He just placed the pot on a hot plate and began cooking. The smell filled the air, again meaty, spiced. Warm. Her stomach growled. Loudly. He glanced at her and smiled again. That answers that. Zari hated that smile. It was too kind, too gentle, too fake. Back on her planet, they told stories of creatures that smiled before they killed, and humans? They were the best at hiding danger behind soft words. Minutes passed. He brought her a bowl of food and placed it beside her. Then he stepped back, sat down, and looked away, giving her space. Zari stared at the bowl. It steamed. It smelled good, but she didn't touch it. Instead, she whispered, "Are there others?" He looked confused. Others? Other? Humans. In this place. He shook his head. Just me out here. No neighbors, no visitors. Quiet living, you know. Zari's heart sank. She was truly alone. With him. No help. No escape. He leaned forward. What's your name? She didn't answer. He sighed and nodded. It's okay. You don't have to talk yet. You've been through a lot. He stood up and walked toward the closet. Zari's hand tightened around the sharp rod under the blanket. If he tried anything. But he just pulled out a blanket and placed it beside her. You can use this tonight. Gets cold, he said softly. Then he turned and walked to the other side of the cabin, lay on the couch there, and closed his eyes. That confused her more than anything. He just went to sleep. Zari sat up slowly. She picked up the bowl and sniffed. It again, no strange smells. No poison. It was real food. She took one bite, then another, then finished the whole thing. Her body was tired. Her stomach was warm. But her mind was racing. She crawled toward the closet and looked inside. Just clothes and boots. No cage, no chains. No bones. Still, she didn't trust him. He was hiding something. Humans always did. That night, Zari didn't sleep. She sat near the fire, the metal rod in her hand, her back against the wall watching. Him. And he slept peacefully. That made her even more nervous. Why does he look like someone who doesn't plan to hurt me? Why does that scare me more than anything else? Zari didn't remember falling asleep. But when she opened her eyes, the fire was low and the room was dim. She wasn't on the floor anymore. She was lying on the couch again, covered in the human's soft blanket. Her sharp metal rod was gone. Her heart jumped. She sat up fast, breathing hard. She looked around, panicked. Then she saw him, the human. He was in the kitchen again, humming softly while cracking eggs into a pan. He wore loose clothes, no armor, no boots, no weapons. Zar, I stared. He moved me while I slept. She reached for the rod, but it was on the table beside her, clean, untouched. He turned around just then. Morning, he said, voice calm as always. You were sleeping on the floor. I didn't want you to get stiff. Zari didn't reply. She just watched him like a cornered animal. He walked closer, slowly, hands open. No threat. Then he did something she didn't expect. He reached out and gently touched her shoulder. Zari's whole body froze. Her breath caught in her throat. His hand was warm, big, rough, but careful. He didn't grip. He didn't pull. He just rested his palm on her shoulder, as if to say, "You're safe." But Zari didn't feel safe. She didn't move. Didn't blink. Her people didn't touch like this. Touch meant dominance. Or danger. And yet, his touch didn't hurt. He pulled his hand away after a moment. You're tense. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. He walked back to the kitchen. Zari stared at the spot he had touched, as if the heat still lingered. No claws, no bites, no pain. Just warmth. She ate breakfast in silence. He didn't ask questions. He just placed the food in front of her, stepped back, and gave her space. Pancakes, fruit, warm milk. She didn't trust it, but her body needed it. So she ate, all while watching him. Later, he sat by the heater, fixing a strange device. A broken scanner, maybe. Zar, I slowly walked around the cabin, limping on her hurt leg, memorizing every door, every drawer. Looking for something? He asked without looking up. A weapon, she said, boldly. He looked at her and smiled. Fair, but you won't need one here. I don't trust you, she said, eyes sharp. You shouldn't, he replied calmly. You don't know me. That surprised her. No lies. No tricks, just truth. She tilted her head. Then why are you being nice? He shrugged. Because someone helped me once when I was lost. Just paying it forward. Zari didn't understand that phrase. Paying what forward? But she didn't ask. Not yet. That night, she sat closer to the fire. Her eyes kept drifting toward him. He wasn't like the males in the stories. He didn't growl, didn't demand, didn't stalk her. He just existed. Soft-spoken, calm, kind. Too kind. No one's. That kind without a reason. She didn't realize she was staring until he looked up and caught her. Everything okay? He asked. Zari blinked. Why don't you ask about me? Where I'm from, what I am. He leaned back. When you're ready, you'll tell me. And if I never do, then I'll never know. His voice held no pressure, no tricks, just patience, and somehow, that scared her more than any sharp teeth, because he wasn't forcing her to stay, but she hadn't run. Not yet. That night, as the fire burned low, she whispered softly, almost too quiet to hear, Do you have a mate? He didn't open his eyes, he just smiled in the dark. Not yet, he said. Zari's tail curled tightly. She didn't sleep much that night, but this time, it wasn't because of fear. It was something else. Something new, something human. It started with a noise Zari had never heard before. A long, loud roar from outside. Low at first, then rising like thunder. Birds fled from the trees. The ground rumbled slightly beneath her bare feet. Zari dropped the wooden cup in her hand. She turned to the human, who had also stood up and moved to the window. "Relax," he said. "It's just my friend. She drives loud." Friend? Zari didn't like that word. Not when the roar came from a beast on wheels, huge, metal, and angry looking. It screeched to a stop in front of the cabin, and the door slammed open. A human female stepped out. Tall, confident, bright red hair, wearing black clothes and boots that stomped like a soldier. She looked around, then headed straight for the cabin. Zari's pulse raced. This is it. Another human. She must be here to help him. "Prepare me." She backed into the corner, her claws tight against her side, ready to run if needed. The door burst open. The red-haired woman laughed loudly and threw her arms around the man. "Logan, you're still alive, you mountain hermit." He hugged her back and smiled. "Nice to see you too, Mia." Zari's mouth dropped open. He didn't bite her. He hugged her. No fear, no panic, just joy. The woman pulled back and raised an eyebrow. "You didn't tell me you had company." Logan looked toward the corner. "She crash-landed, hurt her leg. I've been helping." Mia turned to look at Zari. Their eyes met. Zari didn't blink. Neither did Mia. Seconds passed. Heavy ones. Then Mia walked forward slowly. Zari hissed and stepped back, but Mia didn't attack. She just crossed her arms and smiled. "So, you're the alien girl Logan's been hiding, huh?" "I'm not staying here by choice," Zari said, defensive. Mia laughed again. "You don't look like a prisoner." Zari didn't respond. She watched the female like a cat watches a snake. Mia walked to the couch and sat down. "Relax, I'm not here to hurt you." Zari squinted. "Then why are you here?" Mia leaned forward to see if Logan finally grew a heart. "Looks like he has." The human male chuckled. "She's just scared. She heard some strange things about human males." Zari's eyes widened. "Don't tell her." "Oh?" Mia turned to her with a playful smirk. "Let me guess. You think he's going to eat you?" Zari froze. The air went still. Mia laughed so hard she almost fell off the couch. "Oh no, not that old rumor. It's not funny." Zari snapped, face flushing violet. "I saw the videos. I heard what humans do to their mates." Mia wiped a tear from her eye, trying to stop laughing. "Sweet stars, girl. Someone needs to teach you what kissing is." Zari blinked. "Kissing?" Logan rubbed the back of his neck. "I didn't get to that part yet." Mia stood and walked over to Zari slowly this time. No sudden moves. Zari didn't move. She was too confused now to be afraid. Mia stopped just a foot away and looked her in the eye. "I've known Logan for 5 years. He doesn't hurt people. He saves them." Zari whispered, "But I'm not people. I'm alien." Mia smiled. "So, love doesn't care about species." Zari frowned. "Love?" Mia turned to Logan and raised her eyebrows. "You really haven't explained anything, have you?" Logan looked awkward. She needed time. Zari watched both of them carefully. Love. Kisses, gentle touches. Then what did it all mean? What were the stories about then? Suddenly, everything she believed about humans felt wrong. Her whole life, she was told that human males were dangerous to females, that they devoured them with teeth, pain, and pleasure all mixed into one terrifying act. But Mia? She wasn't scared. She was teasing. She even looked disappointed that nothing dangerous had happened. And Logan? He just looked at Zari with those same calm, patient eyes. No hunger, no threat, only care. Zar, I didn't know what was more terrifying. Idea that humans might not eat their mates, or that she might have started wanting to be one. That night, the cabin was too quiet. The fire crackled. Wind tapped against the windows. Somewhere outside, an animal howled. But inside Zari's chest, A storm dot, she sat on the floor, arms wrapped around her knees, eyes locked on the human male across the room. Logan sat in his chair, reading from a datapad, calm as ever. Zari's tail twitched nervously. She had to know. She couldn't take it anymore. She stood up slowly. He looked up. Something wrong? Her voice came out low and tight. What does it mean when humans say they eat their mates? Logan froze. The datapad in his hands dropped to the floor. He blinked, like he hadn't heard her right. What? You heard me, Zari said, standing her ground. I've heard the stories. I've seen your videos. Human males grab females, pull them close, and use their mouths. You call it kissing? Logan rubbed his face and let out a long breath. Okay, wow. Zari stepped closer. Do you eat them or not? He laughed nervously. Not like that. Zari tilted her head. Then like what? Be honest. Logan stood and walked toward her slowly. All right. But you have to promise not to scream. Zari's heart jumped. Why would I scream? He raised his hands. Because what I'm going to say might be shocking. She nodded slowly. Logan leaned in close and whispered just one short sentence in her ear. Zari's entire body stiffened. Her eyes widened. Her cheeks turned deep violet. Her ears twitched. Her tail straightened like a frozen rope dot. She pulled away instantly, covering her mouth. That's what you mean by eating? She gasped. He nodded, face bright red. It's a human expression. A very private one. But she covered her face. That's not food. That's not even survival. That's pleasure, he finished for her, softly. Zari backed up, still in shock. And the female lets you? Logan chuckled. If she trusts you, yes. Zari paced the room, muttering to herself. I thought he was going to bite my throat. Not that. She turned and glared at him. You let me believe I was your dinner. I didn't know what you believed until Mia got here. He laughed. Zari sat down, holding her head. I thought I was being fattened, prepared, like a bird in a slow cooker. Logan sat beside her, not too close. No, Zari, I was just feeding you because you were hungry, healing you because you were hurt, and giving you space because I wanted you to feel safe. Her voice softened. But I do feel safe now. He looked into her eyes. Good. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Zari whispered, Do you do that mouth thing? To all females? Logan raised a brow. No, only to someone I like. A lot. Zari looked down, nervous again. He stood and smiled. Let's change the topic. Too much heat in here now. But Zari stayed frozen in place, still thinking about the words he whispered, words that made her body go stiff and her mind race. With strange thoughts she'd never had before. Maybe she hadn't understood humans at all, and maybe, just maybe, she wanted to learn more. Zari was broken, and not in the way she feared when she crash-landed. Not physically. Her leg was healing. Her skin was warm. She ate well. No. She was broken inside. And it all started with one whisper from that human male. She couldn't stop thinking about it. What he said. What he meant, what he didn't do. And worst of all, why she kind of wanted him to do it. Zari stormed out of the cabin that morning, tail flicking behind her like an angry whip. She stomped into the trees, away from the cabin, away from him. She needed answers. She needed air. She needed to know. Why would any female want that? She found a tree stump and sat down hard, mumbling to herself. He said it's called pleasure, she whispered. But how is that pleasure? That's not eating. That's not survival. It's just strange. She picked up a stick and stabbed the dirt. Back home, mating was simple, logical, quick, no mouth. Stuff, no touching faces, no feelings, but humans. They made it emotional, intense, soft and dangerous at the same time. And Zari had seen it. Last night, she watched a human video while Logan slept. Two humans, male and female, wrapped in each other's arms, kissing, whispering, breathing fast, smiling through it all. No pain, no fear, only closeness. It confused her. It scared her, and it excited her. Branch cracked behind her. She jumped and turned. It was Logan, of course. Holding 2 mugs of warm drink. Didn't mean to sneak up on you, he said. You ran off before breakfast. Zari looked away. I needed space. He walked over and offered her a mug. She didn't take it right away. Then finally, she did. They sat in silence for a while. Then she whispered, "Humans are strange." Logan smiled. "We get that a lot." She glanced at him. "You do things with your mouth, with your hands, with your eyes." He raised an eyebrow. "Is that a bad thing?" Zari shook her head. "It's confusing, but not bad." More silence. Then she asked, "Why would a female want you to do that? What's the point if you're not creating offspring?" Logan leaned back on his hands and looked at the trees. "Sometimes," he said, "we do it just to feel closer. To share trust, to give love." Zari's face turned violet again. "There's that word again," she muttered. "Love." He looked at her. "You really don't know what it means?" "Not the human way." He smiled gently. "It's like choosing someone even when you don't have to, protecting them, understanding them, even if they don't look like you or act like you." Zari's chest felt warm. "Not from the drink, from something else." She whispered. "And humans show love by touching, kissing, holding." Logan nodded. "If the other person agrees, yes." She hugged her knees. "What if someone doesn't understand it, but still wants to feel it?" He looked at her softly. "Then they can learn, at their own pace." She stared at him. He didn't ask for anything. He didn't rush her. He didn't even get close. He just waited. And that was the scariest part of all, because Zari was starting to want exactly what she didn't understand, and the only one who could show her was him. Zari stood at the doorway of the cabin, holding her breath. She had walked through fire, fear, and foolish thoughts. She had believed humans were monsters. She had believed he would devour her. But now? Now she stood in the soft glow of the cabin's lights, heart racing, not because of fear, but because of hope. Logan sat on the floor by the fire, feeding small pieces of wood into it. His face was calm as always, but tired from the long day. He didn't see her yet. Zar, I took a slow step forward. The wooden floor creaked. He looked up. Their eyes met. And for the first time she didn't look away. "I don't understand everything about humans," she said softly, "but I understand you." He stood slowly. "Zari." She raised a hand to stop him. Her voice trembled, but her words were strong. "You didn't touch me when I was scared. You didn't lie. You didn't push. You waited." She took a deep breath. "So now I don't want to wait." She stepped closer. His eyes searched hers, gentle, patient. Zari stood right in front of him now. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I offer myself to you, but not as a meal." His lips twitched into a small smile. "I never wanted to eat you, Zari." "I know," she said, smiling back, "but maybe you can still use your mouth for that kissing thing." His eyebrows rose slightly. "Are you sure?" She nodded. "I want to learn with you." He reached out, but not fast, not greedy. Just a hand, open and kind. She took it. Warm. Safe. And then, slowly, he leaned forward. Their lips met just barely. Soft, gentle, curious. Zari's eyes fluttered shut. It didn't hurt. It didn't scare her. It felt right. Like fire without pain. Like falling but into something soft. When the kiss ended, she didn't let go of his hand. She leaned against him, resting her head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. "So," she whispered, "this is what you humans call love?" He smiled. "This is only the beginning." Epiologiuleaks later, Zari's ship was fixed. She could have left, but she didn't. Instead, she stayed, not as a guest, not as a prisoner, but as a mate not eaten, but chosen. The stories were, wrong. Human males didn't devour their females. They held them, protected them, loved them, and sometimes, if you asked nicely, they kissed them too.